We're Allison and James, two tiny home dwellers who enjoy adventuring outside of our comfort zones. We love a good challenge, but totally underestimated what we signed up for when we purchased this run-down Airstream and attempt to transform it into our dream tiny home on wheels. With a recent eviction notice, we had just 60 days to make this Airstream move-in ready.
Oh, my shoulders are sore.
Join us during the first week of the build as I crush some solo projects, including the dreaded toilet takeout, and then we tag team the rest before transforming Streamy with a beautiful coat of white paint. Let's get this mess cleaned up. All right, let's get to grinding and cleaning. Well, things are coming along in here. We have removed basically everything at this point. I spent the morning grinding down the rest of the screw heads, which we couldn't get undone. We've taken out the shelving. I've taken all the extra putty and gunk and silicone and everything off the walls with a scraper. And we're now just cleaning up the floor here. It's coming along very nicely. I'm very happy with the progress. Check it out. Probably looks exactly the same every time I show you. I'm gonna deal with this situation. I'm not looking forward to this. This has got to be my least favorite job so far. I don't know, I'm just not excited about it. I mean, I am excited about it. I'm really excited about having it done, and I feel like when I'm on the other side of it, I'll be stoked. But right now, mate, I'm just dreading what's going to come up from this hole. Well, I did it. It's really gross. Take a look at that. Into the abyss. Surprisingly enough, it doesn't actually smell, so that's a good sign. I guess nobody's really used it lately. Ah, it's gone. Thank goodness that is gone. Some things are just better not in your life. Back at the Airstream today. It's been a couple of days of hard research, but we've got everything worked out the best we can at the moment. The plan is tomorrow to start reinforcing the floor and laminate some new plywood down. But before we can do that, this aluminum box needs to go. It's just in the way. It was installed by the previous owners and we're not going to keep it, so out it comes. Now, consequences of that decision. A, it's going to open up a lot of space, which is going to be great. But B, the downside is it's going to leave a really big hole in the outside shell of the Airstream. Now, for obvious reasons, that's a problem. Done a little bit of research and reading on that and picked up some aluminum sheet, and we're going to rivet in and seal around a new sheet of aluminum to the exterior of the Airstream. We'll do a patching job. Hopefully that'll do the trick. Also got to remove the last couple of little bits of furniture, the seating at the front and the water tank. And if we get time, might even drop the black tank out the floor here. That's the plan for today. It'd be awesome if we could drop the black tank out the floor. Right there. Get rid of it. Fantastic. Alright. Well, there's no screws in it, so let's just see. Don't want it to quite fall out, let's look from the other side. box was only held in by 2 screws right at the bottom here, and they were screwed into a rotten subfloor. Not very strong. The floor is indeed rotten underneath it. I'm glad we took it out. There's a strut member here. Looking at this hole, the Airstreams were made really, really well. It's actually really cool. The aluminum's really thick. It's super thick, but we're gonna have to remove this here this piece of trim. We're gonna remove it in order to hide our new sheet of aluminum up underneath it. It's kind of the way everything kind of sits on the outside shell, and it'd be a shame to kind of disrupt what is otherwise a pretty nice looking piece of work. So that's the plan. Cut a new sheet of aluminum, take this off, slide it up, re-rivet all the way around, and then we'll reattach this piece of trim.
Well, it's another weekend, and so we are back at the Airstream for another day of renovations. We were actually skiing yesterday. Explains this crazy dreadlock situation we've got going on over here. Did not brush my hair. But anyways, we wanted to ski today, but we knew that we had some work to do, so we are back at it and feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
So James was here earlier in the week. I couldn't come up because I was working, but he had a mate with him, and they actually installed new subfloor. We've got
brand new 3/8 plywood glued and stapled down to the floor, and it really helps to reinforce the entire floor here, and there's a nice amount of rigidity now.
So there were some soft spots around the door area, and then where the old sink used to be, as well as
all
the back.
way through the back here.
And so now with this new plywood, she's solid. So our chore for the day is we thought we would get into doing some sanding and painting, but it turns out there's some more steps involved. So after a lot of research, we have determined that we need to do a thorough clean of the walls. We've read to use TSP. That's like a degreaser, heavy duty. We're gonna coat everything. And then James is gonna go over it with sander and then hopefully she'll be ready for the priming and painting steps. Essentially, the skins are made up of aluminum, and then there's a vinyl placed over top of the aluminum. And so what we're doing today is cleaning that vinyl. So we're not going to be removing the vinyl from the aluminum. We did think about doing that.
It's a lot of work. It's probably just not a job for this time.
For this time, we're going to try cleaning, sanding, priming, painting. So should we get into it?
Let's get at it.
All right. Paint is not on there very good.
No, it just comes straight off like that. Don't even need paint stripper.
So that's what we're trying to avoid.
But the problem is, paint just does not want to stick to it.
No.
Everybody's been saying that they have issues with this problem. Like, Airstream back in the day used these vinyl wraps, and then they put a sort of plastic product over the top of it, which apparently just stops anything from sticking. Like, great for stains and cigarette smoke and the rest of it.
Plastic's really good, but
paint doesn't. We left you last night. It was getting a little bit difficult in here to get any more paint stripping done. It was getting dark. But we left overnight and we left the paint stripper on the walls, and actually, paint's coming off really easily this morning. The plan for today is to get the rest of the paint scraped off, and then we're gonna sand. Time to get everything sanded down to 60 grit, and then we'll take it up from there, smooth it all out, and hopefully, when we prime it, it sticks.
Push this in?
Yeah.
Or push this in?
Both.
And then squeeze?
Yeah.
Scared. Right.
And then you gotta do it again. And again until it pops. One more. One more. Till it pops. You got it!
That's so hard.
Yeah. Not easy, eh?
Manual rivet gun. We should get some of the automatic ones.
I think so.
We're talking about patching up holes. Like the one we just did.
Patch. And we're just trying to work out which ones we actually do need to patch versus ones that don't need to be patched. For example, this is all going to be under a cupboard, so like it would be nice to do it, but riveting's really hard, so it could just live inside the cupboard unpatched. We might leave this one here unpatched for now, because when we run our electricity lines through the undersides of the cabinets, we might be able to feed them up this pipe, bust a hole out here, and then we can actually wire a new socket into this position.
Nice, we'll actually have at least one electrical outlet in the wall.
How novel. That'd be good though, because I think that'll make the best use of this little space and save us like $3 worth of aluminium.
Right.
It'd be good.
And then some of the other holes, like this one, will need to be patched. This circular one.
Yeah, all the stuff that's in the ceiling or in the visible wall space that's just going to be painted over, I think we'll end up needing to put patches on, just so it doesn't look daggy.
And what about the front, where the old electrical used to be, in around the seating area? There was lights here.
So these holes on the wall here, these three, we're going to patch them. These two holes on either side are for lighting, and I've actually left some of the cords, these ones here, run up through the wall so that when we run our electricity, I can just tie them off and then pull them up through the wall into the cabinet space so that those wires will at least be hidden.
Brilliant.
I think we need to do that one, this one, this one, this one, and probably this big guy.
And lots of patching back there.
Yeah.
I'm now a riveting pro. We're filling all of the holes that resulted from us taking out all the cabinetry and everything. So we're just putting superficial rivets in to cover the holes before we prime and paint. One patch, two patches, three, and
Number 4!
4.